and take a vagabond dream of vagabond.
This is Lisa, I'm Mark, and we're the Vagabond Dreamers. We're standing here in the shadows of Mount Etna, the most active volcano in Europe. We're going to climb it in a little bit, but we're here today to talk about Dubai that we left just a couple days ago, and you'll get to see how the Mount Etna thing worked out later. Dubai is a really interesting place. If you had gone there 30 years ago, it would be nothing compared to what it is today. Literally nothing.
A desert.
The government has put a massive amount of money, obviously extracted from oil, into building this modern, fantastic city. And it is every bit of that. It was just so fascinating to walk in and see, coming from the Seychelles especially, what they had done. I think the two things that really stuck out to me were the airport, which is the world's busiest international airport. We walked, no exaggeration, miles through this airport, and then when we got on the bus to go to our gate, we went miles in the airport complex. It's really something, but very efficient. We were in and out of every little thing. We never waited more than a minute for anything, but moving people, moving luggage, just incredible. And then the train system that we used a lot was just always on time, very clean, just remarkably efficient.
Simple to use too, and that's coming from someone that struggles with new ways of transportation and trying to do it solo, and I was able to do that without any issue at all.
And just tall buildings everywhere, and building and more building.
And unique building. Just every building had its own uniqueness, whether it was slanted or curved or geometric, it didn't matter. It was just the tallest, the biggest, the most opulent. It was eye candy for at least 24 hours to just shell-shockingly look at these buildings.
Right.
The place is immaculate. It's immaculate. There's no litter anywhere.
And there's always people just cleaning. Like you go into the public bathrooms and it's cleaner than anything I've ever had at my house. Sorry.
Well, do a better job.
So, I mean, there is, you spent a bunch of time at the mall.
Yeah, we did some adventures. No, we weren't in Dubai very long, but we're going to talk real quickly about some of the things that we did. And I know that in our last video, I said that one of the things I was going to do is go shopping. I know I needed some hiking clothes for a trip coming up, and I wanted some other things, but I headed to the mall by myself on the train. Not an issue, except it was about a mile walk from the train to get into the mall, all inside. The mall.
The world's biggest mall, right?
And yeah, I mean, I was exhausted at the end of the day, and it wasn't because I bought that much. I only actually went to one store. It ended up being a hiking store. Had a ball, great prices, found everything I needed and a little bit more. But the mall had, I mean, just light shows and waterfall shows and just art exhibits and sculptures and just store after store after store after store, and immaculate. And
when we left, right next to the mall is one of these really tall towers, the Sky View Tower,
yep.
Which is next to the really tall building that.
Yeah, gosh, Khalif,
yeah,
something, yeah.
It'll be in the type above our heads. Anyway, we went up there and looked down, and struck by a couple of things. Just the massive expanse of the city, from really a desert to what they've made it. And just fascinating buildings of all kinds, and then the smog, which you could see everywhere. And we got suckered into buying a ticket for the glass slide, which was sold to us as you get on this slide and you slide down the outside of the building, and that seemed like quite a thrill. And so,
quite possibly the most lame thing we've ever done, maybe in my life.
In fact, we've renamed it from the slide to the scoot.
To the scoot. I couldn't even, it was 25. It was ridiculous.
It was very funny.
Might have been fun for a 3 or 4-year-old, maybe.
Not
sure.
Because you had to scoot down the thing. You couldn't even slide down it.
Anyway,
we did get to go and see some of the famous things at the Palms.
Yeah, the Palms. we were fortunate enough to be able to go because it really looked like, wow, what a day to spend at this massive pool area right on the Persian Gulf. You can swim. And it was, you know, it's 100 degrees out. So what better way to spend your afternoon?
And if you're not familiar with the palms, this is the artificially built islands in the shape of a palm,
and they have,
see.
Yeah. And it was nice. The pool was beautiful. The Persian Gulf, I'm sure, is beautiful in places. This was not a place that I would want to spend any time swimming, at least in this particular area. Now I'm a little jaded. We just got back from the Seychelles,
sure.
So I get it. It's all about perspective. But we did spend a day at the Palms, and we enjoyed it. Probably
not anywhere near as elegant or as we really had expected. But you get this reputation, and I guess everyone has to ooh and ah, even if it's not that great. Our
highlight of the trip.
Highlight
of the trip, and this is going to be. It'll make sense for people that know me and Mark. And for the rest of you, you'll be like, what? That was your highlight? But we found pickleball in Dubai. So it was the Picklers, Dubai Picklers. And we made arrangements. We paid ahead of time to show up on a Tuesday night, I think it was, doesn't matter. Took the train, had a really interesting walk from the train to the warehouse where the Picklers were located. Very strange way to get there. Could have Ubered it, but we don't do that as often as we could. Got there, and what a fun treat that was for us. We were welcomed with open arms. There were people from all nationalities. We met the founder, Patrick, who spent a great deal of time talking with us, and this is, I think, his baby, and he's done well with it. I think they just had a tournament. So we played, and we played pretty well for having had 3 months off. And enjoyed the heck out of it. So,
but it really was a microcosm of all of Dubai to me, in that there were people from everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we played with a guy from Australia, a guy from England, a guy from Poland, a guy from Romania, a German guy.
The founder, Patrick, is from Lebanon.
Right.
And was actually educated in the States at Ole Miss. Ole Miss. So that was interesting too.
But just there were probably 30 people in that building that night, and probably 20 different nationalities. Everybody getting along, everyone having fun. Really nice facility. Patrick's done a really wonderful thing, and I'm sure he's counting on the craze to grow over the years.
He has high hopes, and I think it will too. I mean, we're seeing it grow everywhere. So that was a really fun experience for us. We looked at some of the t-shirts that they had on display, and we asked Patrick, well, do you have anything that says Dubai on it? Because, like, you can get a pickleball t-shirt anywhere. And he's like, well, no, but have you looked at the paddles? And I'm like, oh, of course. So pickleball Dubai with paddles that reflect everything about pickleball in Dubai, and the Dubai, you know, we've got camels, and we've got palm trees, and we've got sunglasses and cactus, and it's just incredible, and we'll have fun wearing these.
Yep. Good luck, Patrick. All right, we're at Global Village. Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Lisa. Hi, Mark.
We really don't know.
We have no idea.
What this
I'm so
is.
overstimulated right now.
But
this is,
there are 1,000 restaurants.
At least, just in our eyesight.
It's called Global Village. Apparently every amount from every country in the freaking world, including about 50 U.S. fast food places. But anyway, I just thought I'd try to give you a quick scan here, because this is nuts. It's our last day here in Dubai. We're standing on the 73rd floor of the Sky View Tower looking out over a very smoggy Dubai on a 106-degree day. What'd you think?
The experience here at Skyview was really lame. We did not meet our expectations, but that's okay. Dubai was fun. We had some interesting and fun activities.
As I said to a friend of mine, the opulence is almost embarrassing what they're doing here.
We always ask each other though, could we live here?
No, not going to happen. We're leaving in the morning for Romania for an overnight, and then on to Sicily, where my mother's side of the family is from. Very much looking forward to that. This is Lisa. I'm Mark with the Vagabond Dreamers. That was our trip to Dubai.
So I'm disappointed that we don't have our fucking pickleball shirts on, but God. I think what we do is right here is before you say that was our trip to Dubai, we say we walked away with pickler shirts and we can